by the cast and director of Educating Rita, which is coming to the Boulevard Theatre. So a very good morning to Becci, Dan and Owain.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now, before we go anywhere, I'm going to put Gina on the spot. Gina, you've actually been a little bit familiar with this show.
Yes, but I told you, Tom, this was many, many years ago. I'm getting very old now. But I did do a monologue for my GCSEs, long time ago. But I can't remember anything. All I know is there's a Liverpudlian accent.
Love that. Well, I'm going to hand straight over to Owain then, director of this showpiece. Owain, give us a bit of a synopsis then as to what people can expect with Educating Rita.
Basically, it's a comedy drama about this girl Rita, who is a working class girl who wants to go and better herself. So she goes off to the Open University and meets this professor who is an alcoholic but a poet, kind of a tortured poet. And then Frank, played by Dan, kind of sees this amazing girl and then watches her grow, but kind of loses control of her a bit. And it's about her journey and how she grows. I think about how he grows as well. It's really about their relationship and kind of the struggles and the kind of the joy that comes from that. Two very different people kind of finding each other.
Yeah. So, Dan, a tortured poet, and you see a light in Rita when she comes to you. What's it been like getting to grasp with this show? There's only two of you in the whole thing.
Yes, and I can imagine, as you could probably imagine, there's quite a lot of words to learn. So,
Yeah,
there aren't only two of us. It's been quite difficult in so much that, as Gina was saying there, it's quite relatively iconic, certainly for our generation, Gina, with two fantastic actors, Julie Walters and Michael Caine, in the film. So it's quite difficult to bring your own characterization to it, but also being truthful to Willie Russell's play. That's been quite challenging. It's also what one remembers is that Frank, Rita is his first Open University student, so he's not used to that sort of comprehensive type of studentship as a student. So she comes in like an absolute whirlwind. She knocks him for six, really. He has never seen anything like it. He's really quite taken by her, and he's quite reluctant to teach her what she wants to learn. She thinks she's quite unique in what she is. She wants to learn, and she wants to get a proper education. She wants to be able to understand things. She wants to understand culture. So that's been really quite interesting to see character develop, certainly wonderfully by Becci as well. So it's really, really quite interesting.
Yeah. And Becci, you've taken on that role, which I imagine similar to what Dan was just saying there, that journey that you as the actors have to go on from. Well, give us a bit of an overview as to where your character starts, and that we don't want the ending, but let us know what happens in the middle and the hurdles that you overcome and the journey that you go on.
I mean, she goes in with big expectations. I think that with this knowledge will come a better way of life and a better person in herself. There's obviously hurdles along the way. She's obviously, as I said, she's sort of very working class. People from her area don't do this sort of thing. She's breaking the mold. It doesn't get met. You don't meet the people in Rita's life in the play. You do in the movie, but you don't in the play. You just hear about them, and you can see that there are conflicts then in her personal life because of what she's doing. But she is determined to stay true to herself because she genuinely believes, certainly at the beginning, that doing this will make her life better. And as I say, in the middle, then there are these conflicts from her personal life kind of come into the story a little bit more. And I think for Frank, he kind of sees what she's losing. At one point he does say, if this is taking over your life, then maybe you need to stop. And she's like, no, I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I think towards the end of the play, not giving away anything, obviously, but I think towards the end of the play, she does sort of start to realise that maybe she got a bit carried away with it all, and maybe it's not everything that she needed it to be. But at the same time, I think between hers and Frank's relationship, they both change so much throughout the play that they both come out of it better people anyway. They both come out of it with a better understanding of themselves and the people around them. That it's really fun.
Do you think that there's going to be moments that some people are going to resonate with, where there's sometimes a characterization of some people in rural areas? You get pigeonholed as a certain type of person, and when you try and break out of that mold and the character that your friends and family see you as, then all of a sudden you've changed, and that you then have to have a conflict with people that you thought trusted that would celebrate you. Are those kind of themes resonant in this play as well?
Oh, definitely. I think everybody can relate to at some point in their life where, you know, they've been maybe proud of something or wanted to make a change, and the people around them have gone, really? So yeah, I think it's definitely something for me. It was a really interesting part as well, because kind of like Rita, I joined Open University in my 20s to do English literature. So for me, it was a bit like I read the sort of plot and was like, oh, I did that. That's me, but I wasn't from Liverpool, and I didn't have a posh tutor like Frank. But yeah, so but definitely it does bring in other themes then as well of you know, why can't people understand what I'm trying to do, which I think everybody has experienced at some point in their life.
Gina, is it bringing back memories now as to your monologue?
Well, no, not really. I did. It was such a long time ago, but I really, really would love to hear one line from the play from each of you in that lovely Liverpudlian accent, because I love it.
Who first, G?
Oh, go on, Frank. Come on, Frank.
Well, mine isn't. I live in Formby, which is an area of Liverpool, but it's really quite refined, so I don't speak Scouse, if you don't mind. But I do say something into it. I probably just mock Rita maybe a little bit. So I say, dead honest is
Yeah.
great.
Oh, I love that. I've got friends from Formby, and yeah, you've got it down to a T.
It's terrible, isn't it, Beck? Formby, apparently.
Right then, Beck. Come on then.
Here she goes.
Rita.
Go on, Beck.
I knew you were going to ask me to do this. I'm going to say a line that I'm pretty sure would have come up in your monologue, actually, because it's used quite often for auditions. So it's but I don't want to be charming and delightful.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my goodness me. That is going to draw everybody to come and see this play. Remind us where it's going to be and when it's going to be as well, then, please.
So it's going to be on in Boulevard Theatre, and it's starting next week, next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Well, I'm very lucky. I don't have to learn all the lines like these guys, who, I have to say, have done an amazing job. And yeah, hats off to them. They have been absolutely fantastic. I'm very glad I have to learn all the lines and just direct them.
I imagine, Owain, it's been a bit of a director's dream to work with two very talented people in that close proximity with that text.
It's been really easy to direct, to be honest. It's all set in one scene in Frank's office, and it's just, yeah, it's been an absolute delight. And you're not moving a whole cast around stage, you're not doing dance numbers, you're not kind of fapping around with musical numbers. So yeah, a lot of it has been quite easy, really. For me,
it's easy in that sense. Not that we're great actors, like.
Yeah, exactly. You're the difficult partner.
I love that. Well, we'll let the audiences make their own mind up. Just a reminder then again, Becky, I want to just give us details, but let's hear it from you. Where can people get the tickets from, and why should they come and see this show?
Yeah, so the links are on Vision Arts or Boulevard's website. It's through Ticket Source, what's on Boulevard Theatre, and you can see us down at the Boulevard Theatre in Milford Haven from the 20th to the 22nd of June, which is next week.
Next week, and then Becky's going to close her eyes, and then she's going to wake up and be in another show.
Yeah.
Go on then, give us a tiny little preview. What have you got pretty much 2 weeks later?
So the week after we've got I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change, which is a comedy musical with 4 people about different stages in relationships.
Amazing.
And it's hilarious.
I will look forward to probably chatting with you next week
older,
then.
Older audience though.
Yes, we'll stick with that one. In the meantime, though, big break a leg for the 20th with the run of Educating Rita. Thank you so much to Becci, Dan, and Owain for joining us here this morning. We've actually got a bit of we're going to put some hairspray on for you, which I know doesn't necessarily go with some of the themes, but it's a bit uplifting on a Wednesday morning.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you, guys.
Also, stay with us because coming up straight after that, we're going to be hearing from Adele and Claire, who are bringing Betsy Cadwallader to life at the Merlin Theatre. That's also taking place next week. Spoilt for choice with theatre here in West Wales. Thank you so much again. You're listening to the Gene Tom Breakfast Show with Folly Farm on Pure West Radio. Not long gone, 8:30.
Listen live at purewestradio.com.